Mike, Chris, the show. All right, now, needless to say, Scott is not here.
Yeah.
Now, this time we're actually recording on Saturday, September 5th, 2020. Now that I've actually got it right. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, no.
Yep, that's true. But there is no Scott. Scott has decided to violate the bro code. Scott, you know what the bro code is.
Just throw him under the bus.
Yeah, this one.
Good luck, Scott.
Good luck, Scott. Get lucky, Scott. Anyway, now,
Hope you're
I'm going to post this tonight before your date, just so your date can see it, because I know we are notorious down in Pikeville. Anyway, hi, happy campers. So, what are we going to talk about? I guess we might as well do the news-ish stuff like we usually do before we start. But
yes.
What do we got?
Okay, so.
Yeah.
You know what?
What?
I'm actually
Chicken
happy
butt.
about this. And this actually happened. No,
You just got that.
no bull on this one. No fake news.
Anyway.
So, it's fun to look up what to talk about on the show and then see something that you loved from your childhood that has nothing to do with it really. But I saw a big picture of The Rocketeer, one of my favorite all-time movies, right there, blasted on the news. And I'm like, what the heck is this? Are you ready for this one?
The Rocketeer is now lesbian. Go ahead. I'm just taking a guess at it. I don't know.
Alright, so.
So, looking at his cheat notes, yeah.
On Sunday, apparently,
Sunday what?
there was a man flying over the Los Angeles airport using a rocket pack. One of the airline pilots apparently looked out the window and saw a man flying through the air with a rocket pack on his back. No shizniz.
Yeah, and? I don't know about you, but I've been flying cars now for like 40 years. You don't have a flying car?
No, I don't.
That's right. We don't have a flying car yet. Still no cure for cancer, but this guy can shove a rocket on his back, light the fuse, and literally fire his ass across LAX, endangering God knows how many lives because he's flying through one of the most complicated international flight patterns on the planet.
My God.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I supposed to take the romantic view of this, that we've got somebody in a Rocketeer rocket pack?
I was looking at this as, holy hell, look at what's going on. This is actually funny and awesome. And then you're like, talking about how this guy is like, risking lives and stuff like that. And I'm like, man,
How old
it's
are
like
you?
you killed a party.
Stop.
You killed a party.
How old are you? Give your age. How old are you?
I'm in my 30s.
Yeah, you're in your late 30s.
Yes.
I'm 49. Somewhere between late 30s and 49, you realize this is some stupid stuff going on. You start seeing, the romantic sees some guy, puts on a Rocketeer outfit, probably even had the little mask and everything, and takes off to infinity and beyond. Somewhere between 30 and 49, you realize he just violated every FAA regulation in the book, in addition to a couple of laws of physics, no doubt. What I want to know is, how did the guy land?
I don't know.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows where he went to. He just flying around.
Yeah. Hopefully he made it to the water.
2020.
Hopefully he made it to the water. Yeah, 2020. Be more 2020.
2020. What a shit show. I didn't say that. I was like, I said it and I'm just like, oh wait.
Like Baba Wawa.
Baba Wawa.
So anyway.
You shot down that one.
Ooh, doggies. Let me just say, That was a good one. If y'all get a chance, we have another unsponsor. If you get a chance, run out to Walmart here in Mount Sterling or wherever you are. Look for the original Motor City Pizza Company. Get one of their Detroit style pizzas. Throw that sucker in the oven for about 20 minutes in its pan. Let it grow up. Sit there, take it out, cut it up, and throw down on that sucker. That is some good stuff. Nice buttery crust, not too much sauce, covered in toppings. It's just a little slice of heaven. So,
Some good shiznits.
thank you, Motor City Pizza. Now, back to the show. Yes, what were you saying? What's up next, Sahib?
Well, you
Well.
remember Ray Fisher?
No, I don't remember Ray Fisher. Who is Ray Fisher?
Ray Fisher is the current cyborg on the
Oh.
Justice League movies and all that. Justice
Whiny
League
McShiny
movies.
Pants.
Yeah.
Whiny McShiny Pants. Right.
Well, so apparently, in case you guys haven't heard, Ray Fisher came out and talked about how Joss Whedon made the set of Justice League unbearable, disgusting, unfair, blah 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 blah.
Whatever.
He was a cranky pants, basically. Joss Whedon was.
Did an awesome job on Astonishing X-Men, though. Gotta admit. You haven't had a chance to read Astonishing X-Men? Joss Whedon's run on it?
I had
Like
given
20
up on X-Men years ago.
No. No, you gotta. Okay, now we still gotta discuss.
Joss Whedon is a mastermind. He's good at creating shit.
Right, we still gotta discuss your opinions on Death of the Family and the Three Jokers you finally got to read. I'm gonna give you my copy of Astonishing X-Men with. It's actually towards the end of Joss Whedon's run before Garth Ennis took over. You're going to get back into X-Men. This is the X-Men book for people who hate the X-Men. I absolutely adore Astonishing X-Men. Of course, it's like 10 years out of print now, but anyway, back to Kingfisher and Kingfish, whatever his name is.
So anyway, Ray Fisher plays Cyborg on Justice League movie.
Whiny McShiny Pants.
And apparently he has a new tweet that came out, and he talked about how apparently he received a phone call from the president of DC Films where he attempted to throw Whedon and John Berg under the bus in hopes to make sure Ray Fisher doesn't say nothing about Jeff Jones.
Jeff Johns. I thought Jeff Johns was in charge of DC Films. He's not in charge of DC Films. Or is he the DC guy in charge of DC? Because the president of DC Films, I thought, was Jeff Johns. Apparently Jeff Johns is point man for DC Comics in Hollywood. So, okay, I
thought Jeff Johns was.
Whoever president of DC Films is, congrats. And in related news, there's a DC Films. Okay, back to it now.
So basically, Ray Fisher is basically saying, like, Jeff Jones doesn't want him to say anything about him, but it's okay about, talking shit about Whedon and Joe Berg anytime he wants to. And Fisher says, no, nothing is off limits. Which also tells me, and now look, here's the thing. He is the only person that has bitched and moaned about Whedon. Haven't heard nobody else come out and say, Whedon treated us bad on Buffy. Whedon treated us bad on Angel. Whedon treated us bad on Firefly. Or the Avengers. Or, all that. It's like nobody's saying nothing except for Fisher. And I got to admit, the guy has balls because he's never done nothing before. This is his first acting gig. And he's just like, well, I don't like the way I was treated on this. Blah, blah, blah. Now, mind you, during this time of 2020, nothing racial. Which is a shocker, to be honest. Right? I mean, usually it's always something about racial. But it's not racial, just what?
How many black people in Firefly?
One.
How many black?
No,
black,
two.
How many black people in Buffy?
The
movie or the TV show? Recurring characters.
None that I know of.
I think there's at least one, but I couldn't tell you. Avengers. That Joss Whedon was involved with. I think he did the first one, right?
Yeah. Well, I think he did that and Age of Ultron.
Win some, lose some, yeah. Anyway, point
Well,
being,
other than Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson. Now, if Samuel L. Jackson gets treated like crap, does he sound off about it?
No.
If...
Because nobody gives him shit.
Ray Kingfish Fisher is a noob, and he thinks that by going out and making a stink, he's building up street cred, basically. He thinks that he's going to be embraced by the woke nerdhood. Here we go down the political thing. But Ray Fisher's leading us down. This is where he wants to go. Believe me, this is all about race. He's not coming out and saying Joss Whedon is racist. He's insinuating Joss Whedon is racist because who's the only one out of Justice League who is complaining about the job Joss Whedon did? Ta-da! Ray Fisher, the one black guy on the... I'm not even saying the one black guy in the production. I'm saying the main black guy on the screen.
See, now, I'm not even saying that... I'm not even saying that Joss Whedon was horrible on set or anything. Because the way I see it, but the way I see it is like there has been a bunch of directors and writers who were told dicks to their people because that's who they are. This is the first time I've ever hearing about Whedon. Plus, not to mention, I think that if he was mean on the set, it was because of the pressure he was under. Because you got to remember, Justice League was, being rushed. He was being made to go and make this cut, add this, take this out, and all that. So he was under a lot of pressure to just
Let's analyze this. Hold on.
That's what I think happened.
Okay, so we know we haven't heard many reports, or any reports really that I'm aware of anyway, of Joss Whedon having racial trouble with anybody he's worked with. Okay, we haven't heard any of that. We're hearing insinuations from Ray Fisher. I hate to use the term dog whistle, but the terms he's using, they're essentially dog whistles saying, hey, he's not right. Joss Whedon, like you said, under pressure, under intense time pressure, because remember Justice League was in that developmental hell for years, way over budget, had to complete regime change in the middle of production, it almost got there. That's why we have this stupid Snyder cut. So Joss Whedon's trying to sit here and bring this across the line, and he's working with who played Superman in Justice League?
Henry Cavill.
Who played Batman in Justice League?
Ben Affleck.
Who played Wonder Woman in Justice League?
Gal Gadot.
Okay, all people who have Hollywood resumes. Ray Fisher, what kind of resume does he have? Unless you go look up IMDb, you know him from Justice League. This is his first time in the limelight. He's pitching fits, and I mean he's in there. He's first time in the limelight. He's getting exposure. The pressure is intense. Joss Whedon's snapping. Everybody else who has experience in Hollywood is used to directors doing this because they know what pressure they're under. Because they're under pressure too. The one guy who does not have the extensive Hollywood experience is the one guy who has to sit there and he sees all of this, and now, long after the movie's been released, the Scott Snyder cut's coming up. the people who want to see the Snyder Cut think what of Joss Whedon's performance on the film?
It sucked.
Yes. So who is Ray Fisher trying to ingratiate himself with? The Snyder Cut fans.
Yeah.
He wants to get more work. How much work do you think he has been getting since Justice League was released? I'm not aware of him being in any other
Yeah.
films. You know that more than I do.
Which is probably why. It's
Because
like,
he's gotten a rep for being difficult.
but and that's
Bet
the
your
thing.
money is what it is.
And that's the thing, dude. It's like you're new at this. You need to just take it or leave it, because if you keep going on about this, you're not going to be playing Cyborg no more. I mean, I'm just saying.
Go back. Remember, you remember A Few Good Men?
Yes.
Do you remember what the Code Red actually was for? Do you remember what Code Red is?
Oh,
We're
man.
going into the Code Red was something that the commanders would put down to the soldiers. They would mention it so that they would have culpable deniability. The Code Red was to take these rookie soldiers, and it was usually rookies who did it, who were messing up, and teach them a lesson so they fly right, get with the formation, and keep things neat and orderly, because it's the only way to keep the unit together and cohesive. If one guy gets a reputation for being disruptive or not cooperating, everybody else in the military is going to turn their back on him because he wants to go his own way. Let him go. Ray Fisher, if he's not, I'm just speculating here, this is pure speculation. If Ray Fisher has developed a reputation for being difficult, he's going to find it hard to get work, and and until he actually comes out and says, look, I messed up, I was young, I was new, I overreacted to things, I owe Joss Whedon an apology. Then he's going to start hearing from people again. Until then, nothing.
I mean,
So anyway, nah.
it's the thing is that I'm a big fan of Joss Whedon. I love his work. He knows how to bring a team together, do things with it and everything. And I really think that what happened with Justice League was all studio. I really do, because this is not like... I would love to see what he does if he had to just... was able to do the whole movie over in his own vision. Instead of just like, oh, I gotta take this out, I gotta take this out, I gotta fill it in with this and this,
Okay,
and
again,
everything.
Astonishing X-Men. That's Joss Whedon's script. He came up with the plot, came up with the script, came up with the concept, picked the team. That's him. He got his artist, Cassidy, I think, was the artist on it.
Corona.
Joss Whedon shows... I hope I infected you all. Joss Whedon shows he knows how to handle a team. He knows how to handle team dynamics. He knows how to handle character. He knows this stuff. It's not Joss Whedon's fault that things were difficult on that production. Okay, that production. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Might as well get used to it because it's my new favorite word. Production was snake bit from the beginning, and now Shiny Pants is sitting here raising a fuss, and I'm tired of.
The thing
talking about
is that, you know, fans just want to hear whatever they want to hear.
Fans want
it's
negativity
like-
so they can reinforce that they should hate Joss Whedon.
Yeah, yeah.
Joss Whedon is not perfect, but he's one of the more talented storytellers in Hollywood right now. Leave him alone. Go. What else you got?
Alright, so,
Enough of the adjective. Go. What's up?
apparently some more DC news.
Yay.
The Rock and Robert Pattinson have been exposed to the virus.
All hail the virus. Bat bug.
The bat
Bat bug. Na 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 na. Bat bugs. Na 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 na. Anyway, that was irony. That was. Now we've talked about irony. You know, Alanis Morissette had that song "Ironic," which ironically was not about irony. It was about whatever it was about. Irony is about the guy playing Batman getting infected with the virus that started from bats in a wet market. That's irony right there. Okay, so now, so go on about the bat bugs, and it took out, and the big joke online is that nobody can smell what the Rock is cooking at the Rock's household because they all got the Rona. They all lost their sense of smell, so nobody can smell what the Rock is cooking.
Yeah, so they had to stop production on The Batman, Matt Reeves' The Batman.
The Batman.
Because of the virus. And
The virus.
no word on if Patterson is, like, okay, or if he's, like, ill, or what.
Oh, no, if he was seriously ill, you'd have heard all about it, because they have got to find some kind of horror stories to tell to reinforce the Rona. Because people are starting to wake up and realize, you know what, these stupid little $2 cloth masks and stuff, that the poor, I actually feel bad for the epidemiologists, and I especially feel bad for the EENT folks who are going to have to deal with all of the sinus and respiratory infections coming up from wearing these masks for the better part of the year. Especially this winter, because y'all are going to see so many cases of rhinitis. It ain't funny. But that's coming from a guy whose deviated septum has made it impossible, very difficult for him to breathe through his nose for the first 40 years of his life. Anyway.
Is that what it is? I got the same problem then. You snore like crazy?
Yes.
I'm allowed to snore too.
That's sleep apnea. Yeah, you need to go to a sleep clinic.
I know, but I don't want to go to sleep
Get a
with a
CPAP.
mask on my
Yep.
face, and that's going to be
I know it takes a little learning to get used to, but hey.
Anyways, but yeah,
You do.
The Rock released a video talking about his experience, and he says that he's almost over it, but apparently him, his wife, and his kids all tested positive, but they didn't, I guess they didn't show like they were sick, just that they were tested
They were
positive.
asymptomatic, yeah. They tested positive for it.
But yeah, everything, Rock
80
says everything is okay.
85% of coronavirus cases are asymptomatic, according to the last figures I saw, which means you're infected with it, but your body is able to shrug it off, and you don't show symptoms. So you don't go through this severe reaction. The people who mainly get the severe reactions are those who are susceptible to it, who have underlying health conditions. They're elderly, they're obese, they're diabetic, they have respiratory problems, yada yada yada. So if you're already compromised, like if you have AIDS, something like that, and you get this is a killer. Which is why Andrew Cuomo needs to be set up on crimes against humanity charges for sending sick people to frickin' New York State retirement homes so they could kill off more old people. Which is son of a... Anyway. Not wanting to talk about the Rona. But I'm glad to hear The Rock and the Rockettes are doing all right. So hopefully Robert Batbug Pattinson's doing better.
Yeah.
And the production is... I understand they suspended production on it. How is that still in production? Have you not finished principal filmography on that yet?
No, when they released the trailer, he said they only did that for DC Fandom, and he said that they only had 20% of the movie done. So, yeah.
That's the one with the Riddler in it, too, because, spoilers, the Riddler's hush.
Hush.
But anyway,
Yeah.
actually Waze, you pointed it out to me, but I'd already found out
Oh,
about
yeah?
it. Waze now has... Waze is owned by Google. It's a driving app. It helps you find wherever you're going and gives you the quickest route there so you can avoid traffic and stuff. Which
So
is a step up.
awesome.
Which is a step up over Google Maps. You have a little icon that presents to other people who see you when you're driving. And you have your own little icon you can see on the screen, and you can get little play-by-play, turn-by-turn voice instructions on there so that it'll tell you, you don't have to keep looking at the screen, taking your eyes off the road to know which way you need to go. So, to celebrate The Batman, for some reason, because if it's only 20% done in filmography, then, oh my God, why are they doing this? Waze has released Good Guy and Bad Guy sets for their Waze drivers. If you're a good guy, you get a little thing that looks like Batman with two little wheels on it, so that when other people see you on the screen, then they'll see the little Batman thing with the little wheels and see you tooling down the road. If you are running with this and you're looking at your own screen, you've got the Batmobile running down the streets showing where you are. And if you're really into it, you can get Kevin Conroy to do the play-by-plays by voice on Waze. He was the guy who did Batman and Batman the Animated Series.
Mm-hmm.
There is also a Riddler version where you can get a Riddler guy in a little Riddler outfit with the little question marks and stuff where people can see him. Nobody's getting that one because it's the frickin' Riddler and the Riddler sucks. Everybody wants to...
Everybody wants to joke.
Be what you want to be, but if you can be Batman, you should be Batman. So
yes.
So there you go. I've been running as Batmobile for about a week now. Unfortunately, Kevin Conroy does not do. It's a lot more work to actually be able to call street names and stuff. They do have voices and ways they can do that. Kevin Conroy doesn't. He just announces alerts and stuff like there's a car on the side of the road. There's a hazard ahead. Reminds me of Gotham City. That's the main one I've heard. But it's... I am darkness. I am the night. I am ready to get started on this trip. Are you? Let's go. So that's what that Kevin Conroy sounds like. So it's a fun little trip. It's just a neat little thing they do so people will use Waze. So
I would if I had
So now
Waze.
you know.
I would totally use it.
if you had a frickin' driver's license, you would use Waze.
No, let's not get into that. Oh, geez. Good Lord.
California,
Anyway.
here he comes in another 10 years or so. When he gets to walk out there.
My feet will make it. Anyways, so speaking of DC, there's a second half of DC Fandom coming up
Oh,
on September 12th.
yeah.
I watched the first one. That's where you got all your trailers of Wonder Woman 84, the Batman,
Good Batman.
Snyder Cut of the Justice League, and all that crap. Well,
Which I
Yes.
gotta admit, the first DC Fandom actually came off a hell of a lot better than
I
these other
loved it.
online things.
I sit there and watch.
I gotta admit,
all
I
day
was
long.
kind of surprised because even I was sitting there looking at the game trailers and stuff. I was like, okay. Now I didn't sit down and watch all the little workshops and all the other things they were doing on YouTube and stuff, but that was fun.
Well, anyways, get this.
Yes.
DC is bringing back a 1940s Superman radio series. And it's going to be playing through the DC Fandom. And they're going to have different actors playing as Superman, Clark Kent, and things like that.
Oh, that's neat. So they're reusing the 1940 scripts. And remember, now I think I've told this story before about how Superman was how they broke up the Ku Klux Klan back in the 1940s. Did I ever tell that story on this show? I think I did. They actually did a comic book about it. You can go ask Scott.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Go ask Scott down at Scott's Comic Relief at 420 East Main Street, Sweetie, because if you're talking 420, you're talking Sweeties. And get down there and talk to Scott. Scott would be happy to sell you a set of the 3 books of Superman Smashes the Klan. But Superman, the radio serial that they did starting in 1940, just around the start of World War II, was one of the most influential things on the radio because all the kids had to listen to it. And that's, I believe that's where they actually got the idea of kryptonite. That's where Jimmy Olsen came from. That's where a whole lot of the parts of Superman canon came from, the radio thing. So it'll be fun to see who they get to play the different parts.
Yeah, so
Doing a new recording of the Superman serials.
it's definitely going to be, like, I can't wait. I mean, I was going to watch the DC Fandom anyways, like I did last time, because I enjoyed it. But when I heard this, I was just like, ooh, that sounds really interesting, you know? That sounds cool. I don't know why people still don't do that. I mean, I know we got audiobook. That would be awesome. We should do that. to
Mhm.
do like write a script out and do like get people to do voices or something into a little.
Do a little radio play. There's nothing wrong with that because that's how they got. That's how they got a bunch of the guys from Doctor Who back together. Was by doing a radio serial basically, and so.
Hell yeah.
Actually, speaking of old things, I found the Public Dominion channel on YouTube. If you haven't had a chance to check this out, get to YouTube, look for Public Domain. I think it's Public Domain Archive. It is a channel full of old episodes of things that have entered the public domain, usually over the past couple of years. They are, as we speak, they are wrapping up an Alfred Hitchcock hour marathon. They had like 135 episodes of this. It's taken them 2.5 days to get
Is
through
this
them all.
something that we can do?
Yes, go to YouTube. This is free. Go to YouTube and do a search for the Public Domain channel, I believe. I'll put a link up somewhere on Facebook or something on our account. I'm not using Twitter so much anymore. But yeah, it's on YouTube. Go find it. On our YouTube channel, I'll see if I can find some way to link to it or something. So if you're watching us on YouTube, you'll be able to just link right over to it.
Does this mean we can like watch something, record ourselves watching something or whatever, and not get penalized?
As far as I know, it's supposed to be in the public domain. But they've got the Alfred Hitchcock Hour, Mr. Magoo cartoons, all kinds of old Looney Tunes stuff that has entered the public domain, all kinds of old TV shows and stuff that have entered the public domain. Check it out. It's free. Go in there, have a look, and just have fun with you. Have fun with it.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Just a little pro tip, a little something to get you through your Labor Day weekend. Unfortunately, I'm in the line of work where I don't get days off so much. But, anyway. So, back to it. What's your next news item?
Alright, so some more gossip, some more bitchy news. Elizabeth Olsen, who is, yes, older sister of the Olsen twins.
Mm-hmm. About 5 minutes or something.
Who's best known for her role as Scarlet Witch in the Marvel movies, has been bullied off of social media. She has said, "To hell with this, I'm off social media." She's not doing nothing. And here's the thing about why she's being bullied. Because she is, I guess, the only actor in the Marvel films that has not posted anything about Chadwick Boseman's death.
Be bigger assholes, BLM, okay?
I mean,
I'm just going to go ahead and call it. You people are assholes. Screw y'all. Done.
that is just
Done. Forget it. You guys have lost any sympathy. We sat here, we said goodbye to Chadwick Boseman. We rest in peace. We wished him all the best as he goes off into the great beyond. Don't think that people who don't say anything publicly are not somehow privately feeling a certain way. Don't demand respect. You cannot demand respect. You cannot command respect. Respect is earned, not given. If Olsen didn't want to say anything about Chadwick Boseman, why in the hell must she say something about Chadwick Boseman? Because you're cracking the whip. You're the whip cracker. Stop it. Stop being jerks, y'all. Goodness gracious. Chadwick Boseman, trust me, Chadwick Boseman, if he knew you people were doing this, would reach from the grave and slap you upside your head. Just like Martin Luther King would do for all of you jerks who claim to be leaders in BLM and Antifa. Yeah. He would reach up from the grave, smack you, and teach you what real leadership is all about. What real peace is all about. Y'all don't know.
Damn
Y'all
right.
are jerks. Stop
Damn
being
right.
jerks. Damn it. Now, so I'm with Olsen on this one. And matter of fact, hearing these people complain about it makes me want to say mean things about Chadwick Boseman. But I won't do it because I got class, folks.
Other news.
I won't say a thing about Panther Chow. Go ahead.
Uh,
It's like,
okay.
It's like
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Well,
Yeah, go.
John Boyega, best known for his role on the Star
Oh.
Wars movies,
And not much else.
yeah, is complaining about Disney and is angry about Disney and has been talking about how it's unfair for what Disney has done to his character and Kelly Moran's character on the Star Wars trilogy, which honestly I completely understand, because you brought these characters in and then at the end of it you didn't do nothing with them. Like, it's almost like they didn't even exist. So I totally understand why he's angry. But again, it does come back to the racial shit.
Because it can't be anything to do with his talent. No. Can't be that. No. Can't be the fact that Star Wars is this long frickin' legacy from like the second film on, where they would take something, build it up, and then just leave it. It's Boba Fett syndrome. It's actually got a name. Okay? You forgot? Boba Fett was the badass who captured Han Solo, and so he's going to be this huge character, going to be a huge story arc, and then shows up, bangs his head on top of on Jabba the Hutt's ass, and lands into the Sarlacc pit or something, whatever it was. This is, guys, Star Wars has always been like this. They'll take characters, do something with them while they're all happy with them and stuff, and then they get bored with it, and the writers just leave it on the floor and go on, toddle off, and do play with the Ewoks or Jar Jar or anything. Where are the Jar Jar fans complaining about how Jar Jar got screwed out of the last 3 films?
Nobody liked Jar Jar.
Hey, nobody likes Jar Jar, y'all. Go show him what Rule 34 is all about. There's Jar Jar Binks porn out there, buddy. Somebody's wanting Jar Jar. Guaranteed. Rule 34.
What have you been looking for?
Rule 34 of the internet, pal. If it exists, there is porn of it. And there are people willing to watch it. Trust me, there's Jar Jar porn out there. I've never even seen it, never been looking for it. Don't know for sure, but guaranteed it's out there.
Oh, man.
Oh, be so horny.
Okay. Ooh.
Now, are we going to move
Okay.
away from this whiny little asshole?
Yes,
and
let's
on
move
something?
on. We got more Star Wars news, though. Hold on. God, no, you just...
We've lost him. Anyway.
Alright, so, guess what?
What?
Are you a Mandalorian fan?
No.
I am.
Oh, the Baby Yoda show. Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
the Baby Yoda show.
Okay.
Guess what? You don't have to wait an entire year to see season 2. No, October 30th. October 30th is when season 2 of The Mandalorian, aka the Yoda show, Baby Yoda show, is going to be on Disney Plus.
There are already people saying this is going to have to suck. Because the first hold on, it's called the sophomore slump. It's an old trope. They say the first season was so great, the second one's going to suck. So everybody's already saying, well, the second one's got to suck. No, y'all don't understand. Baby Yoda. Okay, we now know about Baby Yoda. Okay, so as long as Baby Yoda shows up in it, we're fine. And understand something else. Jon Favreau is still in charge of this, right?
And so is Tiki. I keep on messing up his name. Tika Waititi. He is. You love his. I mean, he's crazy as hell. He's the creator of Jojo Rabbit. If you've seen Jojo Rabbit, it's crazy. Or should I say, the new Thor. Ragnarok, the upcoming Thor
The one
Lord
who
of Thunder or something like
yeah,
that.
the Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder.
Thor
He's a bad
Ragnarok
guy.
was a rip-off of Guardians of the Galaxy anyway. They ripped off their 70s
True.
rock motif.
Tiki is a crazy guy, okay? He knows how to take humor and put it in all of his movies. Like, you remember the last episode of Mandalorian where the stormtroopers kept punching the Baby Yoda? His idea. He thought it'd be hilarious.
Everybody is so... The reason he did that... Now, understand something, okay? Was Taiki Waititi, I believe is
Tiki, yeah, that's
the way you pronounce it. Him
This is a goofball.
and Jon Favreau are both storytellers. They're expert storytellers. They make a living telling stories, okay? They don't make a living writing. They don't make a living directing. They don't make a living producing. They make a living telling stories. Okay, there are plenty of writers out there.
Oh, yeah.
Most of them can't tell a story for bupkis because I sit here and complain about it. When they did that scene in The Mandalorian where the stormtroopers punched Baby Yoda, everybody had fallen in love with Baby Yoda at that point. Okay, we're a little while separated from this, so there's no chance of spoilers here. If you want to see it, you've seen it by now. The stormtroopers were actually getting to be seen in the sympathetic light because they were talking about the Stormtrooper Marksmanship Academy. It's almost like Star Trek Lower Decks type of stuff. Okay, it was they stormtroopers were hapless, they were helpless, they were thrown in over their heads and all this other stuff. So when everybody was sympathetic with the stormtroopers, and then they've got Baby Yoda, and the sympathetic stormtroopers, those poor guys, those poor schlubs, they're just doing their job. They have to take Baby Yoda to the bad guys. Oh, those guys. Instantly, stormtroopers got all the heat they were supposed to have throughout the entirety of Star Wars. Stormtroopers are not supposed to be sympathetic, except for isolated cases, as in John Boyega's character, as in there's two schlubs running around somewhere. I think they were in the comic books there for a little while, and they keep showing up at these huge Star Wars scenes, and they're like, oh my God, we're going to get shot. Let's get out of here. That's basically the extent of their story. There are a few isolated cases. Stormtroopers are heartless by design. They are supposed to be booed. But we have been trained by modern society to cheer for the bad guys. Ask any wrestling fan. They'll tell you a lot of the fans will sit there and cheer for the bad guys and boo the good guys because they think that's funny. That's bad storytelling. When you see the stormtrooper punch Baby Yoda to knock his green little wrinkled butt out so he'll stop squirming around and throwing off the stormtrooper's balance on his speeder bike, now you're storytelling. You're telling the story. Forget what the pop culture wants. This is what the story demands. This is what we're going to do. That's why I enjoyed the heck out of the first season of The Mandalorian. And if anything's going to bring me back to Disney Plus, it's going to be Mandalorian Season 2, the Baby Yoda show Season 2, I should say, but it's proper name. And certainly not Mulan. Mulan is on Disney Plus, and boy, they're making you jump through hoops, aren't you? This one wants to see it, I don't. But this one still has his Disney Plus subscription, but he can't remember his password.
I didn't think I would actually need it to watch Mulan.
Explain what happened with Mulan.
So when Mulan hit Friday, I was wanting to watch it. And instead of just going to Disney Plus, and there'll be a button there that says purchase or, buy or whatever. No, it says you got to go to the website. So you got to go to the website, do this, do that, just to watch Mulan. And it's like, why do you got to make it so difficult?
I actually know the answer to this. Do you want the answer, or is that a rhetorical question? Because I'm really good at answering rhetorical questions. I'll give you rhetorical answers all day long. Do you want the actual answer to that?
Because they're assholes.
Well, that's part of it, but no. No, that's not it. It's the same reason you can't get HBO Max or Peacock on a Roku or an Amazon Fire Stick.
I still don't know why.
Here's why you can't get HBO Max
I was asking.
or Peacock or order Mulan from the Disney Plus app on a Roku or a Fire Stick. Because Roku and Amazon demand a taste of all the action. It's like they're the godfathers of their ecosystems, okay?
So,
You got Roku's ecosystem where you can install apps and such and watch different things. But they want a taste of the pie. They want a taste of all the action. If you are subscribing to them, Roku wants you to subscribe through Roku. They want you to use the Roku to sign up for somebody so that somebody has to cut them in for a taste every month. Okay? So if you own a Roku, you use your Roku to sign up for Disney Plus, for example. Disney Plus costs how much a month? It's been a while, I've forgotten. It's like $7.99 a month, $5.99 a month,
yeah,
something
like
like that.
that.
$7.99 a month, I think is what it is. Roku wants like 50 cents from every subscription. Okay? So if you sign up for Disney Plus through Roku, Roku is going to get 50 cents a month from Disney every month from now on. This is why Warner Brothers would not let HBO Max on the Roku. And it's why NBC would not let Peacock on the Roku. They didn't want to share their revenue stream in perpetuity with Roku. Roku will also demand that if they use commercials as a part of their service, as Peacock would, like with their ad-free and ad-supported services, then Roku demands either access to the ad server or they get a taste of the ad revenue. Now, Disney Plus does not show ads, so they're not worried about that. But Mulan is, for example, $30 to buy. You have to pay Disney $30. If you do that through Roku, Disney would have to give like $2-3 of that purchase price to Roku for processing it just through their app. But if you go to Disney's website and buy it there, Disney gets to keep all the money for themselves. They don't have to give Roku jack squat, and then they can enable it through the Roku app, but Roku had nothing to do with it. Roku has no standing. They can't do anything about it. That is precisely why. That's the same reason, and the same Amazon wants the exact same thing, because Amazon's always about finding another revenue stream, just in case their Amazon Web Services dry up.
Now I got a feeling. I'm not going to watch Mulan just yet, because it does say on there to go ahead and purchase the movie so you can see it before everybody else. So something tells me that maybe in a week or so, you will actually be able to go to Disney Plus and it will be on there. And why are you yawning while I'm talking?
Mulan. I think that's got like a 34% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes so far. So, actually, the first movie was not that impressive.
Well, who the hell has $30 to spend on them?
Now I'm giving you that look because I know you've dropped $30 on things like that before. Only at least you got a DVD disc out of it. Don't go hand me no. Who's got $30 to drop on this stuff? You do, buddy. You absolutely would. You know you would. If it was a Blazing Saddles DVD signed by Mel Brooks himself, you would have $30 for it, wouldn't you? Yes, you would.
Yes.
So don't hand me no crap. Who's got $30?
Of course
You got $30.
Okay.
If you cared about
Caught
Mulan
me.
enough, is watching the movie of Mulan more important to you than keeping $30? That's what it comes down to. For the vast majority of us, it's hell no.
See, no.
Now, if this movie actually had Eddie Murphy in it, hey, we'll talk. Remember, the cartoon had Eddie Murphy as the cartoon dragon.
Yeah.
This one does not. This is decidedly
Has a phoenix, I heard.
Dragonless. Yeah, it has a phoenix, not a dragon.
I don't know.
There's only one There's only one phoenix, and she wound up eating a solar system or two. So,
Anywho, we got some James Bond news. Are you ready for some James Bond news? Alright, so apparently James Bond 007, Daniel Craig, who is the current James Bond, is apparently this will
be his last one.
This will be his last movie. So they decided to ask audiences who they would like to see play the next James Bond.
Idris Elba.
Hold on. So apparently the UK audience said that they would like to have Henry Cavill. There's a 92.3% of people that voted for Henry Cavill. Richard Armitage, I don't know who the heck that is, but they got 92%. Idris Elba got 90.9%. Who that the audience wants to see play the new James Bond. Now, they also asked Americans. Are you ready for this?
Hold on. Before you say anything, I'm going to say something here, okay? America is about to become a global joke.
It is.
If I don't know what the answer is to this. I don't know the answer to this. I guarantee you the answers are going to be stupid. Thank God the British own 007 and not America, even though MGM distributes. It's still filmed in Britain by a British company and distributes through MGM UA. Go ahead. Tell me so I can sit here and... Hold on, I'm going to take my glasses... Well, no, I better leave my glasses on so when my eyes roll so hard they go out of my head, maybe they'll hit the glass and go back in. Go ahead.
Okay, so... Audience of America wants to see Carl Urban from The Boys play James Bond. Will Smith play James Bond. Chris Evans...
Captain America?
Yes. And here's the thing. They made sure to put in the conversation that that these three people was picked by women. Because, and the women literally said, because they are hot.
I'm going to say something controversial here.
Well, there's more.
Hold on, just wait a minute. Let's take that point. I'm going to take a quick little side journey here. I'm going to say something controversial that'll get me in trouble with everybody, okay?
Okay, go for it.
Have you noticed how the 19th Amendment gave women the right to vote 100 years ago, back in 1920? Have you noticed just how far down the tubes the world has gone in the last 100 years? Go ahead. Continue. That's all I'm going to say on it. Go ahead.
Apparently there was some feminist that was also asked about
I knew this was coming.
And they want to see Katie, I don't know how to say her last name, Sacknoff or whatever, which she's from Battlestar Galactica.
Never watched it either.
I literally just discovered her. This woman is freaking hilarious. And they want to see Angelina Jolie. With the UK responding to that, saying, no offense, but the creators of 007 literally said 007 will always be a man, period.
I love British humor. Oh my God. And the best part is he knew exactly what he was saying. Now guys, you honestly, some of you don't know this, the people who produce the 007 films from Dr. No, the very first James Bond film right up to today, are the same people who developed broccoli. Albert R. Broccoli? Wait, Albert R. Broccoli was the first executive producer for the James Bond films. It's his family that controls the production of the James Bond films. Albert R. Broccoli honestly developed broccoli from cauliflower. and named it after himself. They named it
Wow.
Broccoli after Albert R. Broccoli. Seriously, the James Bond producers are responsible for Broccoli.
Wow.
No joke. And that's actually how they got the money to secure the rights for James Bond.
Wow.
So you learn something every day. Anyway.
Now, the person that wrote that article was also female.
Yeah, what a shock.
And
Again, the last 100 years. Go ahead.
But she did, like, literally point out, be like, look, we know who 007 is, and he will always be a man. So she had no shame in just saying 007 being a man. She
That's
don't
what you
care,
got to
so.
say about being a man.
But she was the one that wrote that article, and that's pretty freaking hilarious. So, Americans don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Well, there's a shock.
I mean, Chris Evans, Will Smith,
I like Chris Evans and I like Will Smith.
Yeah,
but
I
they
do too,
not need to be
but
done.
not
So
Gene. No.
do not put them in my... Idris Elba, yes. I could see that. I could see that very easily because the dude drips. The dude drips gentility and sophistication. And badassery.
Yes.
That's
I
the
can-
thing that just drives people up the wall. The people who don't watch James Bond films, the ones who complain about it, they always forget the badassery of it. James Bond is badass as hell. Now they got away from that with like Pierce Brosnan and Timothy Dalton a little bit. Daniel Craig brought it back. James Bond's a badass again. The next one has to be a badass. Has to. Doesn't have to be ripped like the Hulk or anything, but he's got to be toned. Because remember, there was a scene not too long ago. It was in one of these James Bond films. It was Daniel Craig coming out of the water.
Oh,
And
yeah.
every woman on the planet started drooling at once. That's James Bond right there.
It'd be interesting who they pick, but I could actually see Henry Cavill. I know he's busy, but he already lives over there.
I don't think it'll be Henry Cavill because he's already under contract.
Yeah.
But he belongs to DC. That's not
But
gonna
if
happen.
if you have ever watched him in Man from U.N.C.L.E., oh my goodness! If you've never seen Man from U.N.C.L.E., you gotta watch that movie. That movie is hilarious. It is hilarious. I love their back and forth of like, oh, I'm sorry, are you getting beat up? I'll help you later. it's just great. It is. But anyway, last news.
Hey.
All right. Are you a wine drinker?
No.
Better yet, are you a wine drinker and a Star Trek fan?
Oh Lord, I know this one.
Yes. Klingon blood wine.
It's gotta suck. This has gotta suck. I am not a drinker. Go ahead and explain the details on that.
So far, they said that it is a strong flavored
Oh, it better
with a glisten and vibrant ruby color in the glass, with dark chocolate with a bold flavor. The bottles are even pays tribute to the Klingon culture, honor, duty, and tradition. Which I got a picture I'm going to send to you so you can put it up on there of the bottles.
This has got to be the manliest wine ever built. I mean, you might as well just have the tops of the bottles be penis shaped, okay? Because we're talking about a wine that is deep red. I mean, blood wine. The reason they call it blood wine is because it's blood colored. It looks like blood, but it's wine. It's fermented from grapes, Klingon grapes. But anyway, where the hell they got Klingon grapes is beyond me. But they have, for it to be that deep of a red, it's supposed to have dark chocolate notes. So in other words, it's going to have like a little sniff. You'll smell some chocolate there and stuff. For it to be that manly, it just needs to come in like a wooden box or something with a hammer and like a little chisel to take the cork out or something. Now, this sounds idiotic, but this is not the first effort they have. There is Montgomery Scott Scotch out there in the wild. Montgomery Scott Scotch which I'm actually half tempted to try, and a Guinan gin,
Wow.
after Whoopi Goldberg's character in 10 Ford.
Oh,
But
no.
there is. Now remember, gin does make a man mean. So, Mike Allred taught us that. Anyway,
I find it very hilarious, but also, I don't know, the nerd side of me says, this is awesome.
this is one of those things that would get a curiosity factor.
I do want to try it.
It's
Or
going to.
better yet, just have the bottle on a shelf somewhere. Be like,
That's what it is. It's a collector's item. Now, Turner Classic Movies does the same thing. There's a TCM wine club. Believe it or not, if you subscribe to the TCM wine club, you still don't get access to TCM. I feel bad that you thought Backlot gave you access to TCM. But I'll talk to you about that in a minute. Anyway, the TCM wine club actually comes out, and I have no idea how much this is. I think it's like $70 for 3 bottles. But there's the 3 different vintages. Each one celebrates a classic Hollywood character or a classic Hollywood actor or actress or act. There's like a Marx Brothers wine, a Betty Davis wine. There's wines for like Gary Cooper and Cary Grant. And there's wines for Charlie Chaplin and
wow.
all these old Hollywood things. And each one is supposed to be specially selected by vintners to sort of go with watching the creations of these actors and stuff. So if you're watching a Cary Grant film, you can have a Cary Grant wine. It's kind of dry and but it has like a woody overtone, woody notes to it and stuff. So you kind of get the Cary Grant chiseled, manly thing for it. And Betty Grable would have more of a floral overtone, this little slightly lighter wine and all this stuff.
Huh.
So anyway, this is nothing new, but like I said, this could go down as the man's gift of 2020, Klingon blood wine.
The man's gift, yes. But this will make you feel like a man, but in the end, you still get your ass beat.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens on the
you're
show.
going to regret ever coming into... Unless it's Worf.
He always gets his butt
Worf
beat.
gets his ass kicked, yes.
All the time. That's what I'm talking about. He gets his butt beat. Like I was watching it earlier this morning, and he got his butt kicked with a guy that was on a horse. He was down here, and the guy was up here and still got his butt whooped. It's like, what?
Now, that's the ad you need for this wine. To put it on TV, and it shows Worf getting his ass kicked by this bottle of wine. Oh, good times, good times. But anyway,
I feel sorry for the actor. He's like, I'm supposed to be like this big warrior and mean, but yet every time there's a fight scene, my butt gets kicked.
Michael Dorn gets a lot of work in Hollywood, especially voice work. He's found the Kevin Conroy school. There are certain actors in Hollywood, and I can't even call it Kevin Conroy, it's the Mark Hamill school. Mark Hamill was the one who was getting work. You can't even call it the Mark Hamill school, it's the Tim Curry school. Tim Curry was doing this before Mark Hamill became the Joker. Tim Curry was Captain Hook on a Fox Kids version of Peter Pan and the Pirates.
Oh my goodness.
You forgot all about that, didn't you? I can pull it.
Donald Trump don't trust China. China is asshole.